Good morning, philosophers. Let's continue. Number 16. What is it in ourselves that we should prize? Not just transpiration, even plants do that. Or respiration, even beasts and wild animals breathe. Or being struck by passing thoughts. Or jerked like a puppet by your own impulses. Or moving in herds. Or eating and relieving yourself afterwards. Then what is to be prized? An audience clapping? No more than the clacking of their tongues, which is all public praise amounts to, a clacking of tongues. So we throw out other people's recognition. What's left for us to prize? I think it's this: to do and not do what we were designed for. That's the goal of all trades, all arts, and what each of them aims at. That the thing they create should do what it was designed to do. The nurseryman who cares for the vines, the horse trainer, the dog breeder. This is what they aim at. And teaching and education, what else are they trying to accomplish? So that's what we should prize. Hold on to that, and you won't be tempted to aim at anything else. And if you can't stop prizing a lot of other things, well, then you'll never be free. Free, independent, imperturbable. Because you'll always be envious and jealous, afraid that people might come and take it all away from you. Plotting against those who have them, those things you prize. People who need those things are bound to be a mess and bound to take out their frustrations on the gods. Whereas to respect your own mind, to prize it, will leave you satisfied with your own self, well integrated into your community and in tune with the gods as well, embracing what they allot you and what they ordain. Number 17. The elements move upward, downward, in all directions. The motion of virtue is different, deeper. It moves at a steady pace on a road hard to discern and always forward. Number 18. The way people behave, they refuse to admire their contemporaries, the people whose lives they share. No, but to be admired by posterity, people they've never met and never will. That's what they set their hearts on. You might as well be upset at not being a hero to your great-grandfather. Oh man, I bet he would find it interesting that this thing about being admired by future generations, which he didn't care about at all, or at least profess not to care about at all, is exactly what's ended up happening to him. Number 19. Not to assume it's impossible because you find it hard, but to recognize that if it's humanly possible, you can do it too. Number 20. In the ring, our opponents can gouge us with their nails or butt us with their heads and leave a bruise. But we don't denounce them for it or get upset with them or regard them from then on as violent types. We just keep an eye on them after that, not out of hatred or suspicion, just keeping a friendly distance. We need to do that in other areas. We need to excuse what our sparring partners do and just keep our distance without suspicion or hatred. Number 21. If anyone can refute me, show me I am making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after, and the truth never harmed anyone. What harms us is to persist in self-deceit and ignorance. Damn it. How's he going to go and say what I always say, but much more eloquently? I always say that finding out the truth of reality isn't what hurts. It's the gap between your perception of reality and actual reality. He just said the same thing, way more pretty. If anyone can refute me, show me. If I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after, and the truth never harmed anyone. What harms us is to persist in self-deceit and ignorance. That's really good. I do what is mine to do. The rest doesn't disturb me. The rest is inanimate, or has no logos, or it wanders at random and has lost the road. Number 23. When you deal with irrational animals, with things and circumstances, be generous and straightforward. You are rational, they are not. When you deal with fellow human beings, behave as one. They share in the logos and invoke the gods regardless. Don't worry about how long you'll go on doing this. A single afternoon would be enough. Deal with humans as humans until they reveal themselves to behave like animals, and then deal with them on their level. Number 24. Alexander the Great and his mule driver both died, and the same thing happened to both. They were absorbed alike into the life force of the world, or dissolved alike into atoms. Number 25. Think how much is going on inside you every second, in your soul, in your body. Why should it astonish you that so much more everything that happens in that all-embracing unity, the world, is happening at the same time? Number 26. If someone asked you how to write your name, would you clench your teeth and spit out the letters one by one? If he lost his temper, would you lose yours as well, or would you just spell out the individual letters? Remember, your responsibilities can be broken down into individual parts as well. Concentrate on those and finish the job methodically, without getting stirred up or meeting anger with anger. That's a good one. Number 27. How cruel to forbid people to want what they think is good for them, and yet that's just what you won't let them do when you get angry at their misbehavior. They're drawn toward what they think is good for them, but it's not good for them. Then show them that. Prove it to them instead of losing your temper. 28. Death. The end of sense perception, of being controlled by our emotions, of mental activity, of enslavement to our bodies. 29. Disgraceful for the soul to give up when the body is still going strong. 30. To escape imperialization, that indelible stain, it happens. Make sure you remain straightforward, upright, reverent, serious, unadorned, an ally of justice, pious, kind, affectionate, and doing your duty with a will. Fight to be the person philosophy tried to make you. Revere the gods, watch over human beings. Our lives are short. The only rewards of our existence here are an unstained character and unselfish acts. Take Antoninus as your model always, his energy in doing what was rational, his steadiness in any situation, his sense of reverence, his calm expression, his gentleness, his modesty, his eagerness to grasp things, and how he never let things go before he was sure he had examined them thoroughly, understood them perfectly. The way he put up with unfair criticism without returning it, how he couldn't be hurried, how he wouldn't listen to informers, how reliable he was as a judge of character and of actions, not prone to backbiting or cowardice or jealousy or empty rhetoric, content with the basics in living quarters, bedding, clothes, food, servants. How hard he worked, how much he put up with. His ability to work straight through till dusk. Because of his simple diet, he didn't even need to relieve himself, except at set times. His consistency and reliability as a friend. His tolerance of people who openly questioned his views, and his delight at seeing his ideas improved on. His piety without a trace of superstition. So that when your time comes, your conscience will be as clear as his. 31. Awaken, return to yourself. Now, no longer sleep, knowing they were only dreams, clear-headed again. Treat everything around you as a dream. Let me read that again. 31. Awaken, return to yourself. Now, no longer asleep, knowing they were only dreams, clear-headed again. Treat everything around you as a dream. Okay. 32. I am composed of a body and a soul. Things that happen to the body are meaningless. It cannot discriminate among them. Nothing has meaning to my mind except its own actions, which are within its own control, and it's only the immediate ones that matter. Its past and future actions, too, are meaningless. 33. It's normal to feel pain in your hands and feet if you're using your feet as feet and your hands as hands. And for a human being to feel stress is normal if he's living a normal human life. And if it's normal, how can it be bad? 34. Thieves, perverts, parricides, dictators, the kind of pleasures they enjoy. 35. Have you noticed how professionals will meet the man on the street halfway, but without compromising the logos of their trade? Should we as humans feel less responsibility to our logos than builders or pharmacists do? A logos we share with the divine? 36. Asia and Europe, distant recesses of the universe. The ocean, a drop of water. Mount Athos, a molehill. The present, a split second in eternity. Minuscule, transitory, insignificant. 36a. Everything derives from it, that universal mind, either as effect or consequence. The lion's jaws, the poisonous substances, and every harmful thing, from thorns to mud, are byproducts of the good and beautiful. So don't look at them as alien to what you revere, but focus on the source that all things spring from. 37. If you've seen the present, then you've seen everything as it's been since the beginning, as it will be forever. The same substance, the same form, all of it. 38. Keep reminding yourself of the way things are connected, of their relatedness. All things are implicated in one another and in sympathy with each other. This event is the consequence of some other one. Things push and pull on each other and breathe together and are one. 39. The things ordained for you, teach yourself to be at one with those, and the people who share them with you, treat them with love, with real love. Number 40. Implements, tools, equipment. If they do what they were designed for, then they work, even if the person who designed them is miles away. But with naturally occurring things, the force that designed them is present within them and remains there, which is why we owe it special reverence, with the recognition that if you live and act as it dictates, then everything in you is intelligently ordered, just as everything in the world is. Put number 40 down in the totally false column. 41. You take things you don't control and define them as good or bad. And so, of course, when the bad things happen, or the good ones don't, you blame the gods and feel hatred for the people responsible, or those you decide to make responsible. Much of our bad behavior stems from trying to apply those criteria. If we limited good and bad to our own actions, we'd have no call to challenge God or to treat other people as enemies. Why would you not want to hold judgment over other people's actions that affect you? Seems very asymmetrical. Seems very pathologically altruistic. Number 42. All of us are working on the same project. Some consciously with understanding, some without knowing it. I think this is what Heraclitus meant when he said that, quote, those who sleep are also hard at work, that they too collaborate in what happens. Some of us work in one way and some in others, and those who complain and try to obstruct and thwart things, they help as much as anyone. The world needs them as well. So make up your mind who you'll choose to work with. The force that directs all things will make good use of you regardless. Will put you on its payroll and set you to work. But make sure it's not the job Chrysippus speaks of, the bad line in the play, put there for laughs. Number 43. Does the sun try to do the rain's work? Or Asclepius Demeters? Or Asclepius Demeters? And what about each of the stars? Different, yet working in common? Number 44. If the gods have made decisions about me and the things that happen to me, then they were good decisions. It's hard to picture a god who makes bad ones. Well, there's your problem. And why would they expend their energies on causing me harm? What good would it do them or the world, which is their primary concern? Which is their primary concern? And if they haven't made decisions about me as an individual, they certainly have about the general welfare, and anything that follows from that is something I have to welcome and embrace. And if they make no decisions about anything, and it's blasphemous even to think so, because if so, then let's stop sacrificing, praying, swearing oaths, and doing all other things that we do, believing the whole time that the gods are right here with us. If they decide nothing about our lives, well, I can still make decisions, can still consider what it's to my benefit to do, and what benefits anyone is to do what his own nature requires. And mine is rational and civic. My city and state are Rome, as Antoninus, but as a human being, the world. So for me, good can only mean what's good for both communities. All right, we're going to stop there, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready for a good day. A little rainy here in Texas, but we need that every once in a while. I'm going to appreciate the rain today. Let's see. Oh, a quote from Seneca came across my mind today. Let me find it. Today this is a quote from Seneca. Today you need to stop and look at what you have, not at what you lack. Count where you have been lucky. Look at what has gone your way. Consider how many people who would kill to be where you are, to have been given the life that you have. Unblessed is he who thinks himself unblessed. And then that made me consider what a time we are alive in. What a time. I don't care who you are, I don't care how poor or destitute you are living better right now. If you're listening to my voice, you are living a more comfortable, prolific, privileged, I hate that word these days, life than kings did several hundred years ago. Than the richest people on the planet did. You are living a more comfortable life than they are today. It's easy to lose sight of that in this, looking at the relative difference between what you have and what other people have. But that's a lack of perspective. That's a terrible perspective that will lead you just to being unhappy. So today, I'm going to appreciate the things that I have and the life that I have. And I'm going to experience the happiness and contentment that comes along with that realization of truth. Because remember, this month, we're thinking about truth. There's a lot of truth to be had there, and a lot of happiness will come from sitting with that truth. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day.